social media.
I am more than my body.
Fostering innocence.
Mental illness is real.
Sick of the stress.
Dear step-parents.
6 minutes.
Toxic relationships. It was the way he made me laugh.
I met him at church camp.
He started with the letters.
His love language was physical touch. He was always satisfied. I was his new drug.
He always knew what to say to make people safe.
It always starts out this way.
Until that loving touch was no longer loving.
Until I found out that lie had nothing to do with me.
Until keeping me safe became his obsession.
You never know when the switch will be flipped until the lights go out.
We had an addiction we didn't understand. Because our addictions were to each other.
His words were no longer the issue. It was the fear caused by the larger blow. The cage I built to protect myself is no longer strong. The bones have been bruised.
But our addictions were very different. While I was addicted to who I thought he was addicted to my body.
The way I covered my now colorful skin gave me the assurance I wouldn't speak the truth. He took advantage of the pieces of me that he broke, promising he'd put them back together.
We often seek validation from the wrong people, fighting for the love we thought we needed. But those were the people who betrayed us the most.
No! It didn't matter. I didn't have time.
It wasn't an option.
His hands demanded the things he wanted most, and I was left stripped of my worth. The ring I wore was ripped off my finger. The purity I had was no longer mine.
His persuasive ways made me feel obligated to open my gates and let him in.
Bystander effect. With all eyes on me, any cry for help would fall on my deaf ears. Venereal coercion. As his eyes looked deep into my soul, his hands shattered it without permission.
Romantic ignorance. He fabricated blinders to my naive eyes to assure his success in the pursuit of my body.
Once we lose control of ourselves, we begin to wonder if we're the problem.
My attempts to turn him down should have been louder.
I should have known I had the option to refuse.
My mind should have known he wasn't worth saving.
In the beginning, we thought they were angels, only to realize they were fallen. Although we have been abused and beaten, our sadness does not defeat us. We carry the weight of the whole situation and are stronger than we have ever been. We learn to accept what happened, to overcome future challenges, and love ourselves.
The 97%. This refers to the number of women in the U.S. who have been assaulted or harassed.
That's too high.
Then how come I haven't met any woman who wasn't a part of it? We need to start acknowledging the severity of these situations and the fact that men are not being told to stop, yet when we're being told to cover up or leave. We should not have to hide the bodies that we were given because we are too scared to be taken advantage of. It's time to change. And that starts with us. #MeToo.
Alive during a time where technology has come a long way, growing up while the social media platforms grew, came, and went. For the ones we once knew.
Stop! I'm gonna drop my song! Hi, welcome to Chili's.
How did we go from
What's 9 plus 10?
to making social media platforms a business, to making everything a competition, to making it where it consumes all of your time and the opinions of the ones online matters more than anyone closest to you? Where being toxic is normalized because it is all you see down your feed. History books will be filled with so much, but will proceed to leave out majority of the truth. Being alive during a pandemic and not having a proper prom, graduation, senior sunrise, senior skip day, and having your entire life be rearranged because of it. And being stuck in the house for a solid 3 months while mindlessly scrolling through social media? Don't even get me started.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Being alive in the social media age is growing and growing and growing faster than I am. I can't breathe. Being alive where that phrase holds weight in a community, in a generation of people who have fear for themselves, not just in their teens, but in their whole lives. #abolish ICE, #stop Asian hate, #land bank. A debate that will forever keep you awake because people do not understand the significance of what those phrases truly mean. Hashtag no justice, no peace. Without social media, the many injustices that are being exposed wouldn't be exposed. As a minority, as an African American, a new fear has been unlocked. We see all the videos of hate crimes, microaggression, discrimination, and everything in between. They will continue to be swept under the rug, not being seen. As long as it's trending, people care, but if it's not, people will only take a few seconds to stop and stare at something they've been staring at all day. Does this video make me laugh? If not, I'll keep going on my way.
Road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does.
But if social media wasn't around, then we wouldn't be able to watch funny videos or communicate with family or learn new things. And being able to smile every once in a while because an old friend messaged you, it even makes us laugh and laugh like no one is there. Laugh out loud. LOL. Social media keeps us current, but it keeps us watching like we are in service. There, a person can create a world when where virtual lights are a person's livelihood and people care about the problems that you share. The media keeps us in a hold. It has a way of keeping us controlled. We are teenagers. We are young. We need to go outside and have some fun. We need to enjoy life, see the real, go see something that makes you feel. Please take a second to live in the moment. You never know what the world can reveal. Finally, you're wearing something appropriate.
You're too sexy for your own good.
That dress is too sexy to be by the pool.
Stop! Oh God. What do I do? What should I say? If I say something to him, people might think that I'm mean and begin questioning my leadership. But I've tried to remain silent and move on, but I can't do that anymore. I was told that great leaders inspire confidence and move people to action. But I wasn't told how I might fall into leadership roles that I didn't even see. I didn't ask to be a role model for my two younger brothers, but I am. I didn't ask to be the ringmaster of friend groups, but I am. I didn't ask to be a leader of people twice my age, but I am. Nobody could prepare me for the kind of responsibility that this would bring. What happens when I need a break? Everybody notices. The loud, boisterous, flamboyant person is now silent, reserved, and standoffish. But they don't ask why. I want to show my brothers what women leaders are capable of. This sister can speak in front of 5,000 people. This journalist can go live on TV. And this woman can wear whatever she wants, and I will not let anyone disrespect me. I want to show my brothers that I can stand up for myself. Because great leaders inspire confidence. They speak wisely and with purpose because they know their voice is respected. They inspire others to persevere because they never gave up. Exceptional leaders lead by example. I'm not responsible for a man's actions. I'm not responsible for your husband staring at my ass or your son making sexual comments about me. I'm not responsible for a woman's insecurities or your religious morals. My name is Gabriela Quiñones, and I am more than my body.
6 minutes. It only took 6 minutes for the ambulance to arrive. But he was already gone. Sudden massive heart attack, the kind they call a widowmaker. My mother, now a widow. My daddy, deceased. Flashes of memories sometimes cross my mind, both wonderful and painful, because, well, my daddy was a complicated man. But regardless, I loved him. Shay Shay, Princess, Cuddlebug, he would affectionately call me. Oh, and Sheepdog when my hair was an unruly mess in the mornings. Those were the names that I found endearing. Other times his name calling would hurt. And alone in my room I would cry. But nevertheless, I loved him. My daddy was a strong man, 6'2", 210 pounds of all muscle. I thought his arms looked like Popeye's. And his snake and eagle tattoo on his bicep from his army days always perplexed me. Was the eagle really victorious over the snake? Or would the snake suddenly turn around and bite the eagle, sending them both plunging to the ground? Those arms, wrapped around me tight, made me feel so safe, warm, secure, and loved. Until they would shake me. And in his thunderous voice he would ask, "What is your major malfunction?" Nevertheless, I loved him. I loved my daddy, and everyone that knew him loved him. Why, people from all around the world loved my dad. He designed and built interiors for medical helicopters. He traveled to Germany, Spain, Japan, Australia, Russia, and every state in America. One place I had wished he'd been more was with me. At home, or maybe even donuts with dads at school, or my dance recitals, or my early on-stage performances. But nevertheless, I loved him. And he loved me. I have the best collection of dolls from around the world to prove it. Russell Keith Gardner. My daddy. 6 minutes. The other day, my mom asked me what my favorite memory of my dad was, and I tried so hard to remember or come up with something, but the memory of him is fading from my mind. I fear there may come a day when the memory of him is fully erased. But I know in my heart I'll always remember him, because I love him.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking I didn't want to think for a minute.
What if our parents find out?
They can't. If they did, they would lock the door and throw away the key. But plus, they won't. I've been lying to them for so long, I'm way too good at it.
You gotta take some responsibility. You're acting like a child.
Oh yeah? Funny you should mention that. It was just the other day when Dad came up and said, "You're not old enough to be making them big boy decisions." But then just a little while later, here comes Mom saying, "You need to grow up and act like an adult." So I'll be real with you, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to act like.
Well, I know that this isn't the answer. You really think that drinking is gonna fix your problems?
Like I said, the goal wasn't to think, it was to forget.
How long has this been going on?
A year or two.
Why haven't you told them?
I went and I got drunk because of them. You really think that's something I want to talk to them about? What, I'm just going to walk up and confess my sins after literal years of lying and hiding stuff from them? That sounds like an actual nightmare.
What's with this attitude, man? You're acting like you don't give a shit, and I know that you do.
What's with the attitude? Have you ever thought maybe it's not an attitude? Maybe I got tired and don't give a shit about this entire world that doesn't seem to stop. I mean, from childhood, you're forced to go to school where you have adults breathing down your neck every second of every day, making sure to point out every little mistake you make. They want you to be 100% perfect 100% of the time. And it doesn't even stop there. Oh no. If you do manage to do good enough there, you get to go to college, which is the same thing, except you have to get a job on top of all of it to not go into crippling debt. So yeah, maybe I'm a little tired. Maybe I just want a break. Is that too damn much to ask for?
So that's what this is, a break?
I mean, yeah, that's the plan.
Well, where does it end? How does it end?
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, I do know. I've seen this before. And this path you're on, it ends one of two ways. You're either in jail or you're in the ground. We can't control what life throws at us. It's how we handle it that makes us who we are. What you're doing, where you're at, this kind of thing doesn't solve itself. Listen, man, you screwed up. That doesn't make you a screw up. But if you want things to change, you gotta start making better choices, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. This isn't your fault. You can't blame yourself, but you do have to take some responsibility. You gotta ask for help. And when you ask for help, you have to accept it. This world doesn't give a shit about you. It's indifferent. But there are people who love you. People that care about you and that would do anything for you. You've got to find those people. And you got to let them in.
I guess about time I get what I deserve.
What you deserve? Well, luckily for us, this world isn't fair. Listen, man, the way forward is simple. That doesn't make it easy. You gotta get some accountability. You gotta get a better set of problems. You gotta learn how to be loved. I know you got what it takes. I love you, man.
To preface what I'm about to discuss, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 3. Now, my dad is still a huge part of my life and is my number one supporter to this day. However, it's not what this is about. My mom got remarried when I was 6 years old. As a child, I didn't think much of this, mainly because I didn't understand it. I was excited though, because not only did I gain a stepfather, but we welcomed my stepsister into the family too. Her and I were inseparable. She became my best friend. But as time went on, well, things got rocky. My stepfather had a pretty severe bipolar disorder. His emotions would flip very easily, and this made it difficult to understand what he was ever thinking or feeling. And about 5 years into the marriage, he decided he was unhappy. And he left. Which meant that my stepsister was leaving with him. I was heartbroken, devastated, but we didn't know what to do. Until a few weeks later, I get home and he and my mom are sitting on our front porch. He apologized, promising what he had done was a mistake and that he'd never do it again. Well, 9-year-old me didn't care about the apologies. He was there, he was back, and that meant my stepsister would be back too. There were days when we felt like we were walking on eggshells with him, but we let it go, because we were just so happy to have them back. But bad days, they got pretty bad. I got home from a fair one weekend, excited to tell him all about how I met Liz from Swamp People. But when I asked my mom where he was, I saw the pain in her eyes. She didn't know how to tell me that he had left again. I found out later that while no one was home, he packed his bags, put his ring on my mother's pillow, and left without a word. Which meant once again that my best friend was gone. This time it went on for months. We were finally learning how to live without him. And then I get home from school one day, and he and my mom are sitting in the living room. I froze, confused, and upset. There was so much anger and pain. I was 10 years old. Yet when he opened his arms, I fell into them. All of that anger and pain was washed away as I received the same string of apologies and promises. That following weekend, my stepsister returned. We were back to our daily shenanigans, aggravating my mom by being too loud or too messy. Things seemed okay again. And then one day, my older sister looks at me. And she had that same confusion and pain in her eyes. But this pain and confusion was directed at me. She asked how I felt about my stepfather's return, to which I said I was relieved, but mainly because it meant our stepsister would be coming back around. I don't remember much of that conversation, but I do remember the way she looked at me as she walked away. I didn't understand it until for the third and final time, he left. That was when I realized that my older sister was smarter than all of us. She knew it would happen again, while the rest of us, we tried not to think about it. This time was different, though. I was home when he came to get the rest of his things. I was sitting at the kitchen counter as he finished loading his truck. He walked in, started apologizing. I ignored him completely. At this point, I was numb to the pain that he was putting us through. And I asked the only question that I cared to know the answer to. I'll never see her again, will I? And he looked at me, and without hesitation, he said, "You will. I promise. She will be a part of your life forever." Although that was the most painful lie I had to hear, it was the last one he told. To me. He and my mom ended up getting a divorce, but all throughout the process, and even after, I wrote letters to my stepsister. I read her every birthday. I would ask Santa to bring her notes, and so on. It was very difficult for me to cope with, and my mom talked about putting me in therapy quite a few times. I never thought that I could trust another man. So when my mom got remarried in 2018, I could not accept the fact that this new man would be a part of the rest of my life. But I thank God for him every single day. I thank God for sending us someone who loves us like we are his own. For someone who knows the pain that my family went through and refuses to let it happen again. For someone who makes us feel like we are enough. To the kids out there who have another parental figure joining your family, please understand that this is new for them as well. Give them a chance, and they may turn out to be someone that you never knew you needed. And to the adults out there becoming a part of a family, please understand that you are more than just our parents' significant others. You have become our last chance for hope, an opportunity to believe in something that was ripped apart right in front of our very eyes. We believe in you. And we love you. Please, don't make us regret that.
It was my first year of college. I had just turned 18. I was at Nickney's for 2 weeks before Hurricane Laura came through Lake Charles. I was forced to evacuate and leave the life I had just started for myself. I was devastated and bottling up emotions instead of expressing them. When I got home, I immediately got a job to distract myself from everything that's happened. After 2 months, that bottle of emotions started to crack. October 1st, 2020. Late at night, and the house was silent. I sat on my bed with my AirPods in, playing sad music, crying to myself. To relieve the pain of my own internal thoughts, I decided to write my journal. I'm so tired of the routine I live every day. I want something different than wake up, go work, do schoolwork, go home, and go to sleep.
It drives me insane and makes me want to kill myself, which doesn't help since I think about it often. When I'm driving down the road, think about what would happen if I decided to flip my car. Or in the bath, letting my head sink under the water and fill inside my lungs. Or late at night, while crying myself to sleep, I wonder what would happen if I took all the medicine from the basket.
Sometimes, instead of suicide, I would dream about dropping out of college, packing up my car, and just drive. Not tell anyone where I was going or what I was doing. I would just be gone.
It's like those two options are my only escape.
I knew that my mental health was declining because I wasn't even sure if theater was what I wanted to do with my life. And I love theater. I wanted so badly to get out of my hometown Frierson, but when Hurricane Laura hit, I felt like I was being sucked back into my small town and felt stuck.
I just want to drive away and leave all this in the past. I want to go where I won't have a postcode to be sent mail because I won't be there long enough to get anything.
I want excitement, I want risks, I want to be free to do anything I please, like drive to New Mexico one day,
and be in California the next.
I want to meet people that will change my life and then I'll never see them again.
I want to make mistakes that I laugh about the next year.
I want to camp out in the desert and see every single star there is in the sky. I want my life to be exciting and unpredictable.
I want my life to be a story.
The stress in my life kept building and building to the point where I had no motivation to do anything. I laid in bed most days thinking about suicide. My room was an absolute mess, and most of the time my mom would bring me dinner to my bed because she wanted to make sure that I was eating. I felt that I was wasting money on college at that point because I was so behind on classwork. I never even wanted to go to college anyways. It feels like a waste of time and something that keeps me stressing over
That
that.
keeps my anxiety up. And my depression keeps me procrastinating doing the schoolwork, so it keeps building up stress. I don't sleep at night.
It's just a repetitive cycle, which is why I think about suicide more often because all the stress gets me in the same position and
It's killing me mentally. But I have to act like I have everything under control so the stress doesn't bleed over onto my mom. Because then she'll be on my back, stressing me out about it even more. Which makes me feel like an absolute piece of shit. Which makes me want to die even more. So in conclusion, for the night, to escape my problems, I will either run away or commit suicide. I can't tell you. Please just give me back my AirPods.
Why don't you tell me what's wrong?
Please just give them back. I'll come talk to you when I'm ready.
Just know I love you so much, more than anything in this world.
I love you too, Mama.
2nd, 2020. I continued my daily routine as if nothing happened, feeling numb to everything around me. October 3rd, I had just gotten off work and I was headed home. I had already planned that when I got home, I was going to take all the medicine I could and try to overdose. I was crying while thinking about it, trying to see the road through my tears, and then I got a call from my sister. She called to tell me that our mom had asked her to check on me. I started sobbing and told her how I was feeling, and she advised me to go to a mental hospital and seek help. When I got home, I packed a bag, and my mom drove me to the emergency room in Shreveport. My sister drove from Monroe to meet us there, and my brother tried to come as well, but due to COVID, they were not allowed inside with my mom and me. Around 5 o'clock in the morning, I was admitted into Brentwood's Mental Hospital and received the medication and help that I needed. I was taught coping skills and tools that I use every day. If it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't be here today. Most parents nowadays think that their child is doing it for attention purposes or trying to fit in, but mental illness is real. And it is shown in many different ways. You or someone you know is going through a rough time mentally, do not be afraid to ask for help or offer help. Please remember to check on those people that you love and let them know you care, because it just might save their life.
You're 13. Childhood had been okay. Parents got divorced when you were young, sailed around a bit, met lots of people, felt always like an outsider, unmoored in the wrong harbor. Mom and brother are your only anchors. Red sky at night. You get a call. Something, it, happened to her. No need to come home from school, no one to pick you up anyway, but after, you'll see. She wasn't the same after that, and you weren't either. How could you be? Brother's still there. All you got now. 16 years is old enough to be the captain, right? Skipper on deck. But you're both lost. More than you realize. You're 14. It happens again. Things had gotten better. Maybe a life on dry land was coming. It wasn't. Worse this time. Now you gotta grow up. So mature, they say. Handling it well, they say. Shape up, they say. Find a heading, they say. Figure out how to navigate when you've never even seen the stars. Brother's had enough. He's gone too. Better grab your compass. You're 16. Now you have the helm. Do what you want. No one's asking where you are, or if they are, you aren't hearing it. Just go through the motions. Ride the wind. Tack. Repeat. Life will shake out. Right? It doesn't happen again. Not really, but she never gets any better. You haven't wrecked, but you're still adrift. There's something out there in the depths. Not your concern. Too busy managing unmanageability. Red sky in the morning. You're 18. Anything is more interesting than your future. Your present was constantly pirated, and these moments can last forever. Navigating the shallows with open water just beyond. Being careful to be so careless. Otherwise, you don't make it. Not really. Taking a test is the easy way out. You've always been smart. No need to study. You nail it. Should have done this all along. Then you could get back to cruising. You're 21. But in many ways, you are not. A siren cries out from the fog, and it happens again. Or something does. But now it won't happen anymore. Who's left? She's been around lately. Latch onto her. A way out. Keep drifting. No motor, no rudder. Just a barrel roll to wherever the wind takes you. At least the view is nice. It'll work out. If you don't think about it too much. You're 32. Someone finally thinks about it. Not you. It's never been you! Your sea monsters have been circling and they come in for their feast. She left. You're on your own. Helm's a lead. You're 34. You're 13.
I can't breathe.
Please remember to check on those people that you love and let them know you care, because it just might save their life.
I love you so, so much, more than anything in this world.
I am sick of the stress.
See women for who they are, and not just for their bodies. The bones have been bruised.
Open your sails too quickly and you may just run aground.
No justice, no peace.
Exceptional leaders lead by example.
Don't forget about the stars.
What is your major malfunction?
There are people in this world who love you and would do anything for you. Find them and let them in.
We believe in you, and we love you.
#me too.